Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Airees Qistina Binti Romi, and today I will present how my company, which is Retail Niaga Sembilan Berhad. This is an individual presentation. So we move to table of content, which is the first one is identifying HCP. Number two is HCP response summary, and number three is conclusion, which is the outcomes that I've learned about doing this assignment. So, what is HCP? HCP is halal control point. It's a process in the process flow where measure can be applied, eliminate failures to comply halal requirement. Meaning to say, we need to eliminate any potential presence of haram components or substances, haram components or substances in the manufacturing of halal product. Okay, there is a few steps in identifying halal control point, which is the first one is identify process flow or process step. Number two is analyze the four types of halal threat, which is the first one is material, people, environment, and equipment. Number three, make a risk ranking, refer to HTTP risk matrix. Number four, classify the likelihood and severity and impact. Number five, make a decision using the HTTP decision rules. So any waste any time, we move to first main content, which is the first one is likelihood, severity, and impact. So as you can see, there is a table which there's content likely, moderate, and unlikely. Likely meaning common or repeated occurrence. Occurrence has happened before several times. While moderate, so the possibility of halal Taliban status affected might occur sometimes, but doesn't uh common that happen like likely. And the last one is unlikely, which is the possibility for it to happen is a bit rarely. Okay, for the severity and impact, which is the first one, insignificant. Uh, Insignificant meaning means there will be no impact of the halal status of the product. There is more likely to halal toyiban concept, unlike for moderate. Moderate is a potential contaminant also affect the halal status of the product, but they could be salvaged. And the critical part is the potential contaminant non-halal substances affect totally of halal status of the product. If this never happen, it can cause a revoke of the halal certification itself. Okay, for the second content, which is analyze process halal control point. Okay, for the process step, we choose is receiving. The first one is receiving. List of potential contaminant or producer for material, raw material delivered to the premise with expired halal certificate. And inclusion for the monetary part is company halal certification can be revoked, and likelihood for the receiving flow process is moderate and severity is critical. So the risk ranking will be 8. So the countermeasure for this process flow is we need to hold any purchase from supplier which did not renewing their halal certificate. So if you ask the halal toy package critical control point, so the answer is yes. The second one is people. People, visitors or workers that bring their own personal belonging like food and beverages which mix with haram sources. So the inclusion for people, the presence of halal material may cause the company's halal certification to be revoked. So the likelihood is likely and the severity is critical. So the risk ranking will be 9. So we will the control measure for prevent from this to happen is we put signage on haram material ban in the premise or company. Secondly, we might do visual inspection before visitors and workers entering the premise. So the halal and toiban critical control point is yes because it's 9 level. Okay, for the third one is equipment. So greens for equipment like forklift might use grease from non-halal sources like pig. So the inclusion for equipment, the presence of haram substances like pig oil might cause contamination and can make halal certification be revoked. So the significance for it is unlikely and the severity is critical. So the risk ranking will be six. So the control measure will be online purchase goods from supplier that have halal certification. And if this case happen, we need to do ritual cleansing, which is certificate. The last one is environment. Haram animals which is stocked may enter the premise during the production. So inclusion for it is the environment with dogs can affect halal certification. Um, and its significance is likely. It may cause repetitively, and well, when will be happen is moderate, and the risk ranking will be seven. So if this happen, we need to call a contact competent authority to catch the dog. Um, so the control point is yes. For the second flow chart that we chose is mixing from material. The first one is mixing halal raw material with haram material. So inclusion for it is this will make ritual negotiating merhat certificate be revoked. So the likelihood will be unlikely and the severity will be critical if this happens. So the risk ranking will be six. So to avoid this, we need to put signage that telling non-Muslim operators to not bring any prohibited material or beverages into the production. So the halal control point will be no. So the second one is people. Operator's hand or fingers has cut and bleeding. The blood fell into the mixer while production running. So inclusion for it is the product will become haram because human and animal blood is haram to be consumed by human or Muslim. So the likelihood is likely, and when it happens, it will be critical, and the risk ranking will be nine. So the control measure we need to do is display signage in production area, telling operator to be safe, and send all employees to machine safety training guidelines. So this the ICP will be yes. And last, the third one is equipment. Company bought a second-hand machine without any discussion with halal executive. So the outcome will be the presence of halal substances like pig DNA from the machine can make halal certification being revoked. So the likelihood for this flow chart is unlikely and the severity will be critical. The risk ranking is six. So the countermeasure to prevent it from it to happen, we need to discuss with halal executive before purchase any equipment, and we have to conduct certain process after every purchase of second-hand machine. So the HCP will be no. Okay, for environment, mice or rat might fall into the machine while production is running. So the inclusion for this is the mice contain a lot of bacteria and will damage the quality of the product and can be a hazard, which is physical hazard. And the likelihood for this to happen is unlikely. And when this happens, it will be a moderate. So the risk ranking will be three. So do not do deep cleaning inside the outside of the factory twice a year. And second one is install netting at every ventilation fan. So the last HCP that we chose in the flowchart, which is the loading layout or distribution for material, raw material mixed with haram material during delivery transportation. So the inclusion is haram material may cause the company halal certificate to be revoked. So the likelihood is unlikely, and when this happens will be critical, and The risk ranking will be six. So to avoid this happen, we need to explain about haram material that forbidden brought into the during training. The last one is people. Non-Muslim driver brings personal item like food and haram sources. Um, so when this happen, the finished good product will be contaminated and have become haram. So there's likelihood for these steps is moderate, and when this happen, it will be critical. So the risk ranking will be H. So um, to avoid from this to happen, we need give a contract to driver that they will terminate if bring haram material at during transportation. Next, we have equipment using grease from for machine like forklift from non-halal sources. So the inclusion will be grease from the non-halal sources can contaminate product from halal to become haram. So the likelihood for this case to happen is unlikely, and will when it happen, it will be critical. So the risk ranking will be six, and the control measure will be before buy waste product must get approved by halal executive. The last one is environment. Rats eat enter through the loading bay door. So the inclusion is rats to go to the storage and bite all the raw material. So we do not want that to happen. And when this happens, it's a moderate. It's really it's not that really really, but it can be it can be happen if we do not uh, do any countermeasure. So when this happens, will be moderate, and the risk ranking is five. So to avoid this, we need to use the workers need to use temporary system bait station, which is TRBS, on the first line and glue traps for the rats. We move to last part, which is halal risk plan summary. Okay. Like I said before, we choose receiving as our HCP, which is what driver might driver lorry bring personal belonging from halal sources. How we want to avoid this? We need to do visual inspection during receiving process. And when we need to do the process is while the delivery entry into premises. And where we can do the control measure is at the entrance gate or main gate. And who will conduct the process? It will be halal executive and security officer. They are the one to identify the location of the personal belonging, which is the passenger seats. And the verification for the first one is what? Uh, they found driver's personal belonging from halal sources. How how we want to avoid this is we need to do visual inspection during receiving process, and when we do the control measure, it's every time receiving process at the main gate, and where we need to do the process we at the receiving area, and who will be conduct the process will be quality assurance and halal executive and storekeeper also. So the records will be receiving form, purchase order, halal certification, product specification, and certificate of analysis. So we move to the next steps, which is listing and what most will fall into the machine while the production is still running. And how we want to prevent it is we do cleaning and sanitation at the premise. So when every day after the production, and where we have to do it in the production area or the related matters, and who will conduct the process, it will be QA and QC operator cleaning and sanitation department. The corrective action we need to do is install netting to prevent the moth to fly into the production area, and the verification will be what a pest might fail into the machine while the mixing process, and how we want to prevent it is we need to the best fail it's how it happened is the best fall it straight to the mixing from the roof. And third one, when while the mixing machine was running to mix coconut milk with the herbs. Okay, for the record for mixing part is we need to the record is daily cleaning logs, weekly cleaning logs, monthly cleaning logs, annual cleaning logs, and incident and deviation reports. Yeah. When it will happen, it will happen in a production area, and who will conduct the process is the operator online. So the pairs pair into the mixing while the operator put coconut milk into the mixing, and inspection being made by quality control and confirm the pairs of species. Maintenance logs, region and cleaning agent logs, training records, and audit and inspection record. Okay. The last process flow that we chose is distribution, which is the what driver might bring their foods from halal sources into the factory, and how they make we want to prevent it if we need to make inspection to all workers from bringing any haram material. So when we need to do the control measure, it etiquette before lorry enter the factory and during the main gate. Uh, and where we need to do the process is it the entrance gate and will be conduct the process is QC quality control and security officer. So the action that we taken, we need to reject delivery consignment. And the verification is what non-halal food is bring into the factory and how take photo or video as evidence of the driver bring non-halal food and when at the guard house before lorry into factory and where inspection was made at the entrance gate. Who will conduct this inspection by made by security and halal executive. So the records for the um, ICP is distribution form and checklist. The last but not least, the conclusion. The first one is we need to understand the requirements for obtaining halal certificate without any understanding or knowledge. We cannot. Um, we cannot apply for halal certification because it might be not enough. And we did not comply with the requirement that require from JAKIM. The second one is importance of developing and maintaining HAS manual. So I realized that when we develop HAS manual in our company, we need to maintain the all the content in the HAS manual, like SOP, records, um, objective, and so on. Without that, uh, our company might be failed in doing HAS manual. Last but not least is find a good team. What I've learned about doing this assignment that you need to find a good team with the people that can do their work so that they won't uh so that they won't ask for us to do their work and they will they will make a good quality of work. If not, if you don't find a good team, your husband won't be perfect or not be good, even better. Yeah, I think that is all from me. Thank you.